Good evening, Tallahassee. We're going to take a look at your weather this evening, and it's going to get pretty cold over the next few days. But currently at Doak Campbell Stadium, it's 73 degrees under mostly cloudy conditions. We can't really see the sunset. We could see it a bit better a few minutes ago. But your wind is out of the south right now, south-southeast at 5 miles an hour. That's going to change after the cold front passes. And as you can see where the cold front is. It's right about here. It's about to cross the Alabama, Georgia, Florida, tri-state area. It's going to come through our area tonight, but currently it's 74 degrees in Tallahassee, and area-wide our temperatures are in the low to mid-70s. This is going to be the warmest temperatures we see for a while. Tonight we're going to get down to about 52 degrees, which is going to be pretty chilly, but it's going to get chillier. But tonight's headlines, we're going to be having some winter weather in the Northeast and the Midwest. We're having some wet weather at home, and we're going to talk about the weather in Anchorage, Alaska.
Good evening, Tallahassee. Thank you so much for watching FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Caitlin McKinney, and it's just been a really soggy day here in Tallahassee. I know my hair got pretty frizzy this afternoon when I was taking a walk around Cascades, but those temperatures are going to start dropping, and that humidity and that cloud cover is going to start moving out of the area hopefully soon as we have a cold front coming in, bringing us some drier conditions, which I'm really looking forward to, as today has just been kind of gloomy and gross. I've been studying for my dynamics homework. It's making it really hard when the sun's not out. And also on the show today, we're going to talk about Anchorage, Alaska, which is really exciting. I love Anchorage, Alaska. Just to note, they're also experiencing more darkness, which is like a common trait in Alaska. I know that it's crazy right now that the sun has already gone and set, and it's like, what, 5:30, 5:45 when that's happening. It's just starting to get those wintertime feels. But that's exciting because the holiday season's right around the corner. So with the wintertime temperatures, we're going to get that holiday fun. And that's also going into Thanksgiving plans. And we'll talk more about what the weather is going to look like over Thanksgiving and all of those fun things that are going to happen as finals week is approaching and the holidays are coming. But Evan's going to talk a little bit more about Tallahassee and what we can expect over the next couple of days of weather here.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Caitlin. As you said, that holiday season is around the corner, unlike some people might think. It does not start November 1st. It starts Thanksgiving and Black Friday. That's just my opinion, just throwing it out there. But it actually does look like winter outside right now. We have that earlier sunset, like Caitlin was mentioning earlier, setting now around 5:45 nowadays. So that's very early. So we're still sitting at 73 right now, though, so it's still pretty warm outside, and it's also muggy under mostly cloudy skies. We did get up to 76 today, so a little bit above our average. We also started out very warm today, so we had a high launching pad to get above that average temperature mark for the high temperature today. Thankfully, we won't be anywhere near our records. However, we will be getting much chillier as the week progresses, perhaps in the lower 30s later this week, if I can get my words out the right way. But still sitting in the lower 70s around much of the area, middle 70s closer to Tallahassee. But it is also very muggy outside. It's much more humid than it has been. These dew points are sitting in the 70s right now. That's almost a summertime dew point outside. So it's much more muggy. It's much more humid. Your hair is probably frizzy today. This is only will last for today, as we're going to get a cold front sweeping through our area, and that'll help alleviate some of that humidity from our area. And you can actually see it here on the radar. You see that little thin band of showers here working just to the east of Panama City, working into Gulf County there. That's where that cold front is right now, and that'll be swinging towards our area later on tonight, and we'll get those cooler temperatures starting tomorrow, and those will last throughout the week. Going down to the middle 50s and lower 50s in some areas tonight, so a little bit chilly. You might need that jacket out there if you are a native Floridian, and you'll also need it tomorrow because clouds will dominate much of the day, keeping our temperatures limited to the middle and lower 60s, maybe even upper 50s in some places like Thomasville. So definitely going to need a jacket for tomorrow, and also going on to later this week. I'll show you that in a second on the 7-day. We're going to get that northerly breeze coming from the north, bringing in that cooler air, that less humid air, but it's also going to be very chilly. And like I said, clouds will dominate much of the day, the night tonight, and going into the day tomorrow. Also can't rule out a spotty shower in our northern suburbs, so just a heads up there as well. If you're planning on going to the beach, it's definitely not going to be the warmest day here in Panama City Beach. 61 is your high temperature tomorrow. The water's still, by my taste, a little bit warm, coming from New York, but still 69. not a great time to go to the beach as we enter November and December here, but you can still head out to the res. It's still pretty cloudy out there, so but nice. It could be a nice day, especially if you get a nice breeze to maybe go on a kayak or paddleboard out there. But tomorrow we're working through the lower 60s tomorrow afternoon, and it should be a nice day overall. Just make sure you take that jacket with you tomorrow because you'll definitely need it, or that extra layer. We'll go down into the middle 50s for Thursday. Look at those overnight lows going into the middle and lower, upper and middle 30s. Again, I can't get my words out today. I don't know what it is. But Nico, how are we looking around Florida?
Thank you, Evan. So around Florida, it's already dark in Orlando. This looks like a street sign. I wouldn't be surprised if it's traffic, though, because you have a lot of traffic. But around the state of Florida right now, it looks like a pretty nice evening to be outside. The temperatures, you got 81 in Miami, you got 77 in Orlando, 73 in Tallahassee at the reservation, and 73 on St. George Island, which is probably going to be your last warm beach day for a while. If you look at your current temperatures, you can easily see where the cold front is. It's 59 right now in Pensacola. Panama City, which is the next city east to the cold front, it's 71. That's a 12-degree difference. And then if you go even further east, Tallahassee, we're at 74, and South Florida stays warm. It usually is warm at this time of the year in South Florida because they don't get as many cold fronts. We do have a few showers across the area. We had some rain earlier today, and you can see clouds and showers scattered around the peninsula. You have a small line of showers around the Panama City area. We may get some rain from that this evening in Tallahassee. That's where the cold front is right now, just behind that line of showers. But I don't know why that segment is on there. But as we look at our future radar, we have the cold front coming in tomorrow. It's going to be cloudy, we're going to be cold, and then it's just going to stall out over us on to Thursday. It's going to be a very, very chilly Thursday. But as you look at your Miami weather, it's going to be in the 80s. It's going to be warm, and then you kind of get the cold front getting into your area on Friday, but it's not going to really have much of an effect that far south. Tampa, you get the cold front. This is probably going to be your coldest day so far this year. 68 on Thursday, and then even cooler, 63 degrees on Friday. The people in that part of Florida, you might not be used to that kind of weather. Same story with Orlando, except your lows are going to be a bit chillier because you don't have the water right by you, which keeps you a little bit warmer when you do have a cold front. If you're in Jacksonville along northeast Florida, it's going to be even chillier for you. On Thursday, you're also going to have the clouds. So Thursday is going to be it's going to be chilly and cloudy. If you like that kind of weather, I like that kind of weather, but a lot of people don't. So you might want to be inside and warm up on Thursday if you don't like cold and cloudy weather. And if you go to Pensacola, you get the cold weather a little bit earlier. It's going to be in the 50s tomorrow, in the 50s on Thursday, and in the 50s again on Friday. But Friday will feel warmer because it will be sunny, but it also means your morning low is going to be a little bit chillier. You may even have some frost to deal with on Friday. So that will be something to definitely pay attention to. And looking at tomorrow's temperatures, it's going to be in the 60s and then the 70s in the peninsula. Now I'm going to pass things off to Evan.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to take a look at the southeast where the sun has set around the majority of our cameras there. The lone exception is Mexico Beach, Florida, sitting at 71. That's our warm spot right now. Look at these temperatures around much of the southeast, sitting in the middle 40s in Atlanta, Georgia, and Charlotte, North Carolina, middle 30s in Blacksburg. So that's just a sign of what's to come, at least for Tallahassee, later this week. So we're going to hang on to this warmth as long as we possibly can. And you can actually see here on our surface map, we like to play a little game around here. It's called Spot the Cold Front, right? There it is, right along there, kind of dividing that warm edge to the south and east, separating that from the cooler, drier air off to the west. So that'll be working through our area tonight, and that'll bring us those cooler temperatures later this week. And you can also see that here on our dew point map, again, that gradient right there from the western panhandle extending through Georgia and South Carolina up into North Carolina as well. That's why we have so much humidity here today, because you get that southerly breeze coming off the water, making it feel much more muggy than it has been the last couple of days. So this will not be around for long, I can tell you that, so that'll be a good thing around here. But you can see on that water vapor, there is a little bit of water vapor associated with the cold front. Not a whole lot to look at on that map right now, but we are going to be we're going to get some relief from that mugginess, again, with that northerly breeze. Again, here's that cold front right there with the changing of the wind directions coming more from the south ahead of that, bringing that muggy air to our area. And once we get behind the front, we'll get much more relief from that. But winds are generally light and variable across much of the southeast. And the cold front's not looking a whole lot impressive on that map right now. Very scattered showers and storms throughout Georgia, extending down into the Panhandle as well. The majority of the rainfall is actually going towards the northeast and mid-Atlantic, so thankfully we won't have to deal with that around the southeast. And as we go forward in time, we'll actually get high pressure building in behind the front, and that'll actually help to keep any rainfall out of our area for the foreseeable future. And that's also the case for a place like New Orleans, where clouds will dominate tomorrow and Thursday. High temperatures only reaching the lower and middle 50s, so quite chilly there. Also, overnight lows going down into the upper and middle 40s. So a little, again, you're going to need that jacket, especially if you're not adapted to the cold weather. But Friday we warm up a little bit, heading towards 57 to start our weekend. Similar story in Boone, although much colder. So you can see here our overnight lows go down from tonight sitting at 32 all the way down to the lower 20s and upper teens for Thursday night. So definitely a chill is in the air, not only in our weather, because, well, we're entering the winter season here, getting a little more of that holiday spirit around here, maybe even seeing some snow in some places, but we'll get to that later in our show. But there's that cold front working off the east coast, and again, high pressure will build in behind that front, and that's why we won't get anything on that radar going until Thursday, at least here in the southeast. But tonight, we're going to be very chilly behind the front, widespread 30s in that blue color there, and again, ahead of the front will stay nice and muggy. Again, change of storms is also for the Florida Peninsula, sitting in the middle to lower 70s, so overnight lows very warm there, very mild. But then tomorrow, behind the front, if you get lucky enough to get the frontal passage, you will be sitting in the 60s and 50s throughout much of the southeast. Unfortunately for Florida, look at that, Miami sitting at 88 tomorrow. But Caitlin, how are we looking around the U.S.? Are we still chilly?
The United States is very chilly right now. We've got also a lot of winter weather happening throughout most of the United States right now, with a lot of things happening in the northeast. We're going to talk about that as I go later on, but they've got a lot of mixed precipitation. Temperatures right now, you can see where that cold front has taken over most of the United States. We're the little oddballs out right now with being still kind of experiencing those muggy temperatures ahead of the cold front. But much of the United States are now sitting in the mid-30s. That's just really, really chilly temperatures. Though Los Angeles, sunny, 65, wonderful down there in South California. Dew points also reflective of that cold front moving through. We've got a lot of dry air out west. You can see that Denver is at 32 degree dew point. That's just really dry air out there. They're experiencing that. We're experiencing a little bit muggy here. As we can see, we look over to Florida. They're the only thing green on the map, which is just really unfortunate because I know it's been really cloudy and muggy all day. But these dry temperatures are heading our way eventually as that cold front makes its way past through the southeast later on today and into tomorrow. Water vapor are also showing those dry conditions out west. We can see that down there in South California. Also to note, South California is experiencing some Santa Ana winds. Those winds are going to be having gusts of 40 to 60 miles the next couple of days. So do keep that in mind. They might be dry, and we might be muggy, and we're going to be cold, but they're experiencing some really heavy winds, so they also have weather in their area too. Surface map, we've got a high pressure building in to the west, which is keeping them really dry. But for us, we have that cold front that we've been mentioning over there. It's coming through our area. There's that mixed precipitation up in the northeast, bringing lots and lots of snow. But that's really all we have for the surface map. Taking a closer look at northeast, like we've been saying, they've got a lot of snow coming. This is going to bring close to 3 to 5 inches of mixed precipitation and rain and snow over the area the next couple of days. And they're all in winter weather advisories right now for most of the northeast as they are experiencing those storms over the next couple of days. Here's a snow forecast. Like I said, 3 to 5 inches of rain or 3 to 5 inches of snow in some areas as we go into tomorrow and into Friday. So that's something to be looking forward to if people love the snow as the holiday season approach, if they want a snowy Thanksgiving. But also to note, our Great Lakes area, they're going to be experiencing some lake effect snow coming the next couple of days, which is going to bring them even more snowfall, which is what we were talking about. So that's where they're going to see those 3 to 5 inches of snow as this storm makes its way over their lakes, creating more and more snow. They're also in a winter weather advisory as well, going into today and up until tomorrow at 6 a.m. Low temperatures, really cold throughout much of the United States. 21 in Denver. I thought there was a Bismarck. Bismarck is like 13, I think, so that was just pretty crazy to see earlier today. And we're only sitting in the 50s, but that's going to change. We're going to be in the 30s, I think, later on into the week. And much of the United States is abnormally colder, sitting about 15 to 20 degrees colder than normal as we go into these cold front that has moved through the area. So our anomalies right now, they're sitting between 10 to 20 degrees abnormal from our, even Los Angeles is 1 degree colder than it usually is. So we're just looking at really chilly temperatures throughout much of the United States. High temperatures tomorrow, though, looking a little warmer for the southeast. San Antonio coming in at 58, that's just a little bit warmer than they were today. They were sitting in the mid-30s today. But we're going to be seeing temperatures drop for us a little bit colder as we go into Thursday and Friday when that front finally makes its way through. And like we said, we've got really cold temperatures throughout the entire United States right now. That cold front has passed through. That's something that we're going to be having to watch for you guys. And we have that snow in the northeast, which is also making it colder. That snow is something we're going to be talking about as we go into the show because snow brings its own winter weather, and we need to be safe when we do that. So we're going to pass things over to Nico and Evan. They're going to give us some information on snow safety as we have those northeastern snow storms coming in the area, bringing 3 to 5 inches of snow.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Caitlin. So with all that snowfall occurring in the Northeast, and of course we're entering the winter season here, we're definitely going to need to start being prepared, at least in places that usually see the snow, for that winter weather to happen. So we're going to give you guys a few tips on how you can stay prepared. So first of all, hard freeze versus a freeze.
A hard freeze typically has to be colder than a freeze. You have to be under a lower temperature for many more hours for a hard freeze, but that's the kind of freeze where you get your vegetation to die. So you have to cover your plants. You need to be prepared for that when you get a hard freeze. Even the areas where they do stop issuing freeze warnings in the winter, you'll still have the hard freeze warnings because those can be so devastating.
Yeah, that's right. When you get that hard freeze warning, that's why you want to protect those 4 Ps: pipes, plants, pets, and people. That's definitely very important information there. So again, the freeze warning is just for the initial freeze of the season, but the hard freeze warning, that's much more serious. But how can you stay warm during that cold weather?
Well, when it gets colder, you definitely want to put on more layers. You don't want to get frostbite. You don't want to get hypothermia. You want to stay out of the water in the cold weather. If you're going to be outside for an extended period of time, you want to bundle up. But if it gets extremely cold, then the best course of action is to definitely try to limit your time outside. And if you have a space heater, you want to keep it away from anything flammable. We have these fires every year because people don't realize that they can't put their space heaters inside by flammable things, and then their house catches on fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've actually had that happen. My grandmother used to live out in Southampton, and that's out on Long Island, and somebody actually left the space heater on for an extended amount of time, and the house, I remember this, late at night there were fire trucks there. The whole house was up in flames because of that. So you definitely want to make sure you're not leaving those space heaters out anywhere where they could pose a fire hazard. But we're going to pass things back over to Caitlin, and she's going to take us to another snowy city, Anchorage, Alaska.
Thank you so much, Evan. Yeah, I have a personal love for Alaska. I was there all summer, so I'm really excited to get to talk about Anchorage, Alaska. I was in Juneau, so it was a little different, but I'm still excited. We've got lots and lots of snowy weather to talk about for them. Just some fun facts. So over the summer, while I was there, I was experiencing about 18 hours of daylight, but they, in Anchorage, since they're a little more north than Juneau, they experienced 22 hours of daylight in the summer, which is just crazy. I don't know how. I just love the sun so much. I think I would enjoy that, but I know that the flip side, where they're experiencing like 3 hours of darkness or 3 hours of sunlight in the summer or in the winter. Excuse me. Coldest temperature ever recorded was -38 degrees, and that was in 1947. So that was a little bit ago, but that's still not fun. And I know that they get close to temperatures like that. I think even if it was like -36, that's just still not a fun temperature. -10 is not fun. Hottest temperature ever recorded, though, I remember when this happened, it was 90 degrees Fahrenheit in 2019. That's pretty insane. I just remember like watching the news and it being there. I loved it. Current temperatures right now, though, it's cold, so it's not 90 degrees, it's 22. It is sunny, though, and it's going to feel nice for those people in Alaska who are used to these cold temperatures, who've experienced those deep negative temperatures. But they have a light breeze northeast right now, so kind of good conditions for them. Pretty typical for this time of year. Current temperature throughout the area sitting about 28 across the board. Eagle River is looking a little different at 25. They've got that shoreline that's keeping them pretty uniform across the area. Anchorage being 28, and all of the other places sitting around 28 as well. They have a little bit of snow, nothing too crazy in the area right now. Probably just covering those mountaintops, so not really hitting down near our friends in Alaska if we've got any friends there. But we have this like weird highlight thing. That's not rain. That's just something with the graphic. But they're only experiencing a little bit of snow right now. Nothing too crazy. Low temperatures tonight, looking about 19 degrees, so nothing really changing from the daytime temperature, and that's because they have that coastal line that's keeping them pretty uniform. And it's been cloudy kind of all day there today, which they don't have as much heating. So they were at 28 today, low in the 20s tonight. But big thing for Alaska is when they all go out hiking. So the hiking forecast tomorrow, it's going to be 32 degrees at 10 a.m. Going to get up to 36, so a little bit warmer than it was today. I don't know if you guys have any hiking plans in Alaska. Maybe you're going there for Thanksgiving, but it's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow if you do want to go out and hiking. That's pretty Alaskan temperatures for me if I would go hiking, I guess. Active alerts, nothing too crazy going on. They've got a high surf advisory near the coast. High wind advisory, too, also near the coast. And they've got a couple of fog advisories as well to look forward to as they go into the next couple of days. Next few days in Alaska, it's going to be cold. Temperatures only hitting 30s on Friday. We've got lows in the like 20s, 19 tomorrow night. It's going to be chilly. But that's really all I've got to talk about with Alaska. I have a lot of great time in Alaska, but I'm going to give things off to Evan. Evan's going to give us a little bit of things to do here in Tallahassee, right, Evan?
Yes, I'm going to give you a little tour of that lifestyle forecast. Currently on Landis Green, still 73 degrees, so it's pretty mild, although that sun has set, so it's going to start to get a little dark outside. As you can see, well, look out the window. It's pretty dark outside, unfortunately, with that wintertime sunset that we have now. But still 73 degrees, pretty mild out there, and that south-southwesterly breeze that we're going to have just for a little longer, pumping in that moisture and humidity, bringing that to our area. But tonight we're going to switch our wind direction to a more northwesterly direction, and that's going to bring in much cooler temperatures and lower humidity. So it's going to feel a lot colder than it did today. So if you like that summertime feel, this is probably the last taste you're going to get of that for quite a while here. So 52 is our overnight low tonight. And well, it may not be a great night to go stargazing tonight, even though that star there says good. It's going to be cloudy tonight, so you may not get a full shot of the stars tonight. Although later in the week, we'll start to clear out a little bit, and that might change. So stargazing lovers, just hang in there. So later this week, we'll get that back here. But tonight, if you're heading out for a late drive, temperatures will be falling down through the 60s as we go throughout the evening hours, hitting about 60 degrees by 1 a.m. No threat of rain, however, so that's also a good thing. No slick roadways for tonight. Tallahassee Airport is not experiencing any delays as of the moment, and I don't really see that changing anytime soon because there's no real rain systems coming through over the next couple of days. So good weather for your early Thanksgiving travels if you're headed out this early for Thanksgiving next week. Your dog walk forecast tomorrow morning, you will need the jacket or an extra layer early tomorrow morning before the sun comes up if you are an early riser. Temperatures will heat up through the 50s and the 60s tomorrow morning and through the afternoon hours. So if you're more of a warm dog walker, you might want to wait till the afternoon hours to do that after you get home from work tomorrow. Beach is going to be chilly tomorrow, only 61 degrees at Panama City Beach tomorrow. Water temperatures at 69. There is a high risk of rip currents, and that chop is a little bit rough out there. But Friendsgiving for tomorrow is going to be 56. It looks like tomorrow night looks like we'll have that middle to upper 50s temperature for that tomorrow. Clouds will dominate that as well. So clouds will be the story for the next couple of days here. But the second to last game here in Tallahassee will be against Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns on Saturday. 53 degrees at kickoff there. So that will be a noon kickoff, a little bit early for my taste, but still I'll be there. And there's that 4-day outlook again for Tallahassee. Chilly on Thursday, really chilly on Thursday if you are not a fan of that, going down to 35 at night, Nico.
Yes, thank you, Evan. That will be our coldest day of the year so far for the high. It is going to be a little bit warmer, though, for the low. But currently, we're looking at Doak Campbell Stadium. It's 73 under mostly cloudy conditions at the moment. And look at your sunset. It's now a little bit clearer than it was just about 20 minutes ago. And it looks nice out, and it feels nice out. If you like the cold weather, you're going to like the next few days much better than your current temperatures, around 74 in Tallahassee, 73 on the coast, 73 in Bainbridge, but that temperature, that's going to be the first one to go down. As you can see, the cold fronts now made it up to about Panama City and to about the tri-state area of Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. So that's going to come through tonight, and you can see the drier air behind it too. It's not being shown in our viewing area yet. Our dew point here is 71. It's still muggy here, But as you go out to the west where the cold front is, you're not only getting colder air, you're also getting drier air. And here is your cold front. It is marked by this line of showers right here. It just passed Panama City, and it just passed Dothan, Alabama, and it's only a couple hours away. And after that, the temperatures are going to start to go down quickly. So be prepared for that if you're out and about tonight. The one thing that will keep it from getting extremely cold tonight is going to be the clouds. The clouds keep the heat in, so it's going to be 55 tonight instead of it being in the 30s like it could be later this week. Along the coast, you're going to be a little bit warmer. Inland, you're going to be the cool spots as you normally are at this time of the year because you don't have the warm water influence. But here's where you really see your difference in the temperatures behind the cold front. Your high tomorrow here, 64 degrees. Look at Thomasville, Georgia, though. You're in the 50s. Valdosta, 64. Our warmest spot tomorrow, 67, which is colder than the current temperature in Tallahassee at the moment. So that's your warmest spot. But as you look at your future radar, you don't have much of anything beyond the rain tonight. We do have the clouds. The front is going to go through very slowly. So it's going to keep the clouds in, and it's going to feel chilly. If you're going to be out at the beach tomorrow, though, not particularly a great beach day. It's going to be windy, and it's going to be cold. That's not the ideal type of day to go to the beach, I don't think. Your hourly forecast for tomorrow, though, it's going to be 62 around 2, and it's going to be 57 degrees in the morning, but the clouds are going to keep it not a big temperature range tomorrow. But it does clear up on Friday. We have sunny weather. The game on Saturday will be nice. We might have a slight chance of showers on Sunday, and it will warm up into next week. But I'm going to pass things off now to the closing desk with Evan and Caitlin.
Yeah, thanks, Nico. So, quick recap of what we have going on here in Tallahassee. That cold front will slide through our area tonight, and that's going to bring much cooler temperatures to our area. What do you think?
I'm not really looking forward to the colder temperatures, but I'm really looking forward to the not cloudiness, no mugginess. Like, that's what I'm looking forward to. Some sunshine would be nice.
Yeah, I think we're all fed up with the kind of summer feel around here.
Yeah.
It's been really muggy today because we had all that moisture getting pumped in from the Gulf of Mexico,
Yeah.
but this front will help alleviate that for
I'm
sure.
so excited. My hair was so big earlier today when I was on my walk. I had to come home and straighten it before I got here. And it
Yeah.
also got a little frizzier just on the walk in here. So I'm looking forward to some sunshine.
Yeah, the door was propped open here in the hallway, and I stepped out into the hallway just before the show, and a wall of moisture, wall of humidity out there in that hallway, so
Yeah.
very unpleasant.
I was just not looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the sun.
Yeah. The good news is, though, that Thanksgiving is next week, right around the corner. So
I
what
know.
do you got planned for that?
I'm going to Virginia, so I'm actually really excited. I don't know really what to expect weather-wise there, but I know we'll cover that later next week.
Yeah,
Or I'll at
for
least
sure.
look into it myself for sure.
Yeah.
What are your plans?
I'm heading back home to New York, but in the meantime, you guys can follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/FSUweather. You can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSUweather.
Yeah, you can also watch us on YouTube like you might be doing now at youtube.com/FSUweather. And you can also follow us on Instagram and send us all your cool pictures of anything weather based on our Instagram at FSU Weather.
That's right. You can also send us any Thanksgiving photos you may take next week. We always like to see those around here. But that's all the time we have on this show. I'm student meteorologist Evan O'Regan.
And I'm student meteorologist Caitlin McKinney.
Yep, we're going to leave you guys with one last look at our 7-day forecast. Have a great Tuesday evening.